Jimmy, we're back for another new season. What season's this at Troon?
14.
Season
it is.
14.
Yep, season
Fantastic.
14.
Fantastic.
Here we go again.
Bright, bushy-eyed and ready to go.
Absolutely. We had a good break. Albeit interrupted with our under-18s trip to Barcelona at the end of May.
That's right. Yeah.
But we had a good break and we finished well at the end of the season, so it was good to come back and get started again.
Right, the mood in the camp seems to be good so far, the pre-season training and the two friendlies we've played so far. Boys seem to be buzzing.
They're in good form, good shape. They all came into pre-season training realistically, we've obviously kept themselves going in the gym and whatever.
Yeah.
I think nowadays, if I go back to my first season here, going back, as I say, 14 years ago, pre-season was very much about getting players in shape who were out of shape.
Yeah.
Maybe tailing off towards the end of the season, maybe carrying niggles, etc. Take 4 or 5 weeks off, 6 weeks, go on holiday for 3. They're not coming in like that anymore. The boys are generally 24/7, 365, keeping themselves in shape. So you don't have to do the same kind of work, but it's a lot of intense physical cardio work that we do with them, but then we play 30-40 minutes of football every session. Because we're not here to train a running team or a boxing team or a team that can toss a cable or lift a tyre. We're here to play football, so that's what our boys are doing, and it's starting to show. And tonight's test, a game against Maybole, is a big test because they're a good side with a lot of experienced players.
This is our third pre-season friendly so far. We've had Stewarton here a week ago and Hutchesville on Saturday. 2 very different challenges and a third different challenge again tonight. On purpose, obviously, by design. Well,
Stewarton's obviously close friends that run the club, and again, a lot of boys that have played. I think there was David Cunningham and Elliot Duffy were at Whitlets when I was there, like 15, 16 seasons ago. So they're still playing, but they're playing at a level that suits them now. But it was good to see them, and the Stewarton game was very much a chance just to stretch your legs, get out on the pitch. No disrespect, but they wouldn't take it that way anyway. So Hutchesville, different prospect altogether. Fantastic setup through at Spartans, shows a good level that's going on through in the East of Scotland League. And Hutchesville themselves were a good test, big physical team, and was a good opportunity for our boys, both the youngsters that are coming through and the more experienced guys, to get a good 90 minutes and a good test against a quality side.
Different challenge again against Maybole. Excellent season last season, so great. Looking forward to the first division campaign.
Absolutely. And Carlo was actually a player here back in my first kind of season. But Carlo has done a brilliant job at Maybole over the last 3-4 years, and they're definitely following all the right paths of bringing in the 20s, actually use them, promoting that through, as well as having experienced boys in their squad like Mick McCann and Ross Robertson. Martin Laurie just signed back again, all players that are well known to us. So but a tough game tonight, but that's why we chose it. But I think importantly, I'd like to make mention to the McGrady family as well. One of the reasons why we play this fixture every year. Stuart, although never played for us, was coming to sign for us, and unfortunately before his untimely passing away. So special mention goes to the McGrady family, and our thoughts are with them in tonight's game, and I hope the two teams put on a performance that the fixture merits.
Yep, absolutely. You've got a few new signings have come into the squad this season. Mark Shanklin's certainly got the headlines coming in from Talbot. Chris Miller has come in, former Morton and St Johnstone. You've got Blair Richardson coming back from East Kilbride. Some good players in there.
Obviously Nicky Dock as well. So we've got we went for experienced players because we've got enough young ones. Chris Miller's experience speaks for itself. He's a quality player. The one thing that's impressed me a lot about him is his actual fitness levels. When we do the runs, which are very difficult runs, and out of 18 boys, he's like up in the top 3 every one. So that any concerns that I had in terms of stamina and things, he's got it in bundles. The guy's an actual pro. So it's good to have him on board. And Shankers again, just a boy that we've all known since. When I was way back on the board at Ayr, Shankers was the young starlet going to be coming through, and went down to Liverpool on loan and things. So we all know his background, and sometimes just a change is what a player needs. Sometimes you change what we all need in life just to give a wee spark, and hopefully that's what Shankers gets coming here, and we get to see as I said to him, a merit and a benchmark of success for us and working with him was him playing 30 plus games this season. That and not off the bench. That's the target we've given him. He's played a great experience. Nicky Dock as well. Again, it speaks for itself. He's won everything there is to win in the game at our level, and he's again another guy we've known for a while. He's played against us for years, and it's just his communication skills and his positional awareness is right up there with what I've seen come through our doors before. So yeah, he's an exciting prospect, and we know what we're getting with Blair. Blair was here on loan last year, so and obviously recruits from the 20s as well. We've got Ben Strain and Corey Howard, and Ben's developing week on week at the moment, and Corey is I wouldn't say he's a finished article, but he isn't far away. And I think it's important. Obviously we had our squad last year. We lost Mark Morrison to East Kilbride, but we retained everybody else, and even the likes of Jamie Gallagher, despite substantial bids from other clubs. And Jamie was, of course, he was interested. Why wouldn't he be? It's again, like I said, sometimes a change is good, but we managed to retain his services, and he was our player of the year in every category last year. So that's as good as a new signing as far as I'm concerned, because to lose him, some of the money that gets chucked around for transfer fees is absolutely scandalous. It's ridiculous that clubs at this level are paying 5-figure sums for players. It is ridiculous, but if one does it, everybody's going to do it until they stop. Everybody's going to keep doing it, but quite frankly, a 5-figure sum for Jamie Gallagher is really, it's neither here nor there as far as we're concerned. We'd rather have him here.
To replace him, it would cost you that?
You couldn't replace him at this level. We'd have to really go up the way and to get a talent like him. There's nobody else in the league as far as I'm concerned, maybe other than one or two that are playing for the top clubs, but as far as I'm concerned, he's in the top 3-4 midfielders in the league.
You touched on under 20s, a couple of players come up from there. We've had Joe McCarroll, Charlie Brown, we've had a few others featuring pre-season as well so far. Seems to be a promising bunch that we've got under Stevie and Tony. Well, Joe and Charlie are boys that I've known, from when we were young, playing at the same age group as my own son. But Joe and Charlie both were in the Scotland SYFA set up last year. They're both talented boys, 16 years old, both 6 foot plus, athletic. They're good on the ball. They've got lack a little bit of game knowledge, but other than that, they're 16 years old. They're on their way through, and as much their focus is under 20s, of course, but we'll bring them into this as much as we can, because they're two players that I've got high hopes for, and they will play for Trin FC first team in the next 18 months. I've no doubt of that. Off the park, there's been a few advances at Brolton Park over the summer. We've got the new 3G AstroTurf pitch up behind the goal, a new training pitch, and we're in the middle of getting the dressing rooms all refurbed, as well as a few other bits and pieces around. Must be good for the players and good for the coaching staff to see the differences. The 4G Astro pitch, not 3G, that's that felt stuff, but the 4G Astro, actually. Is it? Yeah. There you go, that's you stand corrected. The AstroTurf facility we have anyway, it's a proper facility, it's got the full 5 metre, 6 metre fence, and it's effectively a 9-a-side pitch, which can divide up into 2 5s. So I think primarily it's going to really benefit our youth teams. We have, as you know, 6-7 teams at that from 2016s all the way up. So and we're hopefully bringing another couple under that banner. So it'll primarily be very good for them. Generate some revenue for the club as well, hopefully, with other teams maybe booking it out. And but for us as a club to have that facility is tremendous, and obviously support of South Ayrshire Council to work with us on that has been greatly appreciated. The changing rooms are, we had a bit of a flood or whatever it was back in March time, so they needed done anyway, but it's good to be doing them. But credit goes to chairman and all the committee members for the pitch. The pitch is magnificent, and this is not even ready yet. This is July. Come September time, we know what that pitch is like, what it develops, and the commitment that the guys shown all through the summer with that 6-7 weeks of scorching weather. The commitment all those committee guys showed to be out there from 7 in the morning till 7 at night watering that park, yourself included, is it's something that maybe
it's lost on the players at the time, but when they see the quality of the pitch, it's not lost on them, because you couldn't have that without that commitment. And again, from my point of view, and myself and Dean and Marty, we really thank all their efforts for producing that for us.
Great. Well, we're moving on to tonight's game against Maybole, and fingers crossed for a good performance and a good season.
Yeah, season ahead. Well, Maybole's a good test, as we've said, and but the season ahead, I think we're really, I've said this to the guys. I mean, there's teams around us, without naming them, because I'll end up coming back to haunt me, but there's teams around us that we lost both games to last year, whilst going away and getting big significant victories against the teams in the top end of the league.
Beat the champions 4-0 away from home.
Well, that's right, and deservedly so, even by their own admission. So from our point of view, it's changing round. I mean, if there's two teams in particular that beat us twice home and away, which we realistically, our target should be to beat them, same as theirs is to beat us. And the draw at home to Petershill between Christmas and New Year, we threw that game away. Now those 13 points would have put us third or fourth.
Yeah.
That's the difference. If we can turn that element round and focus in on that side of it and keep the momentum going in the big games to where we're really, boys are up for it and they're more than capable, then we've got to try and target being in the top 5. That's objective this year.
Yeah.
Plus, obviously, what was it? 2014, 2015, the last time I held a trophy above my head at this club. So that's too long, as far as I'm concerned. And that's something we want to rectify this year. Really, any club in the Premier League that doesn't have the ambition to go and win a trophy just shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I hear there's coaches and new teams that are coming through. Basically boys clubs don't even have a ground, and the coaches talk as if they're sitting on match of the day and things like that. I mean, it's like, come on, let's get it back to basics. The basics are, we're here to play football every Saturday and win games. How we do that is by hard work and commitment, and ultimately that hard work and commitment has got to result in a trophy this year. That's our objective, and as I say, every club that's in the Premier League should have that in mind anyway.
Yeah, great. Well, an exciting season ahead. Looking forward to it.
I can't wait.
Brilliant.
Glutton for punishment.
Absolutely.